Okay, today's trade idea is GFI. I've been watching this ticker for about a month, and let's get right into the chart. Right now, what you see is the weekly chart, and I've already annotated some long-term trend lines. You'll see from back here, this is like in the mid 70s, all the way through to right now, which is November 22. You'll see along the way that there's regions where price reacts off of this purple trend line. Okay, same thing with this one up here, this region here, this spot here, and then this down sloping trend line as well. All right, that's just a big picture. Let's zoom in and look at the daily. All right. From a daily perspective, back here in the July 2020 timeframe, this is the COVID drop here. And price rebounded, okay? Found some resistance here at about, what is this, 863 at this horizontal trend line. But you can see that price developed this channel. I don't know, it's not a perfect channel. I guess I could pull this down here like this. It's fine. Doesn't have to be perfect, okay? This is the daily, by the way. What you can see though, is that this channel is well respected by price. And when price finally broke out of the channel, price also respected this long-term trend line resistance up here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to focus on the action in the past week because this is where a lot of opportunity remains. You can see that there was a lot of volume. Okay. On a normal day, let's just pick one of these days. On a normal day, it's about 8.5 million shares traded. But in the past week or so, 67 million, 18 million, 53 million. It's a lot of volume. Okay. Now, one of the key things I want to review is the use of RSI, the momentum indicator here, RSI. Okay. Let's look more in this time frame here. This goes back to early September. And take a look at how price behaved versus how RSI behaved. Okay. From a broad standpoint, you can see that price was on this downward sloping, what is this called? A descending triangle, okay? But in general, price is going this way, okay? Now, as price was going downward, it found support down here. And at the same time, it utilized this support to push off. What you can see in the RSI is that on this date here, this is, let me switch to the cross. This is September 1st. Okay, September 1st, price up here was red candle up above this trend line support. Okay, whereas down here, you can see that the RSI dipped below the 30 range. As price continued to move downward this way, I should change this to a black. Sorry, guys. Anyway, black, downward moving action. You can see here on the RSI that it is divergent. It's upwardly sloping, okay, right here. So from this time frame here, September 1st, to this September 26th, price was down sloping, but momentum was up sloping. From a technical analysis standpoint, a good entry point would have been, let's see here, I'm going to zoom in. Maybe like this, something like that. Okay, it's overhead, it's like resistance here, and it takes a move of, what is it, a decisive move, right? This green candle to release this pent up energy here. Great. As we continue into the October timeframe, price again is downsloping. Okay. But you can see that, at least the way I'm drawing it, I'm continuing the momentum line all the way up to here. Okay, so you can see that. Let me make this bigger. Kind of zoom in here. This one. This point, these 2 points here, and this one are upsloping. To me, that's continuation of building up energy. Finally, on this day here, which is November 3rd, okay, to me, there's a fake out move. Or you can say it's it's hitting trendline support, which is a very good thing. This trend line goes back a long ways, and it was respected. So one could think that it would be respected again. Maybe that's the best explanation. And then you can see that price rocketed up there. Okay, so let's fast forward to today. I'm wanting to take a trade off this trend line support here. Okay, let me zoom out so you can see it. You can see that it goes all the way back to end of July. Okay, downward sloping. And you can see also that from a momentum standpoint, RSI is overbought. Some people say, hey, when it gets above the, what is this, the 70 range, that price is overbought. I'm not a big fan of those terms. Instead, I like to just zoom in to the hourly to just show divergence of price versus RSI. So let's go into the hourly. Okay. So when we go into the hourly, we can see here that price, let's see, price from this point to this point, actually all the way up to this one. So from here to here, price is upward sloping, okay, which is in tandem with momentum upward sloping. So there's no divergence. So one would expect the move to get there. But what's interesting is up here, price takes a pretty sharp upswing, but the momentum doesn't do the same. It's almost flat. Okay, there is a little bit of, this peak is a little bit higher, but to me, I would call that very flat. To me, it's a loss of momentum. Finally, on this sell signal, well, maybe it's not a sell signal. It's just a red candle in the hourly. It broke down. If we go to the, okay, if we go down here to PPO, often we hear that PPO lags RSI. So RSI is already losing momentum here. PPO is still going up, okay, much more obviously than RSI. But in the end, there's this crossover of the 2 different periods, and you can see that price is going downward. So the question is, where would one want to get an entry, or where would price be going? I want to get an entry down here, okay, down by this support line here, because that would be the best risk reward entry. But it may not get there. I'm going to go to the 15 now. Let's take a look. 15-minute. Okay, so there's a small breakout here. I'm looking for divergences, but really I don't like to get to the 15-minute to give me an indication of what to do on the daily. So we'll go back to the hourly. So what will happen tomorrow? I don't know. My guess is price is going to break down uh, at the pre-market. Pre-market maybe get down to this 1050 range, 1060 range, hopefully. That's where I'll put my standing order. My target overall is, let's see, if we were to take the trade down here at about 1060, 1070 down here, my target is this zone right here. Okay. And how far is that? Well, that's about, I don't know, 35%. So that's a really good risk reward. I could enter it now, right? Maybe have a 5% gap between where I enter and where the trend line is. If I were to enter here, that's about 5%. So 5% versus 35%, that might work. So we'll see. Anyway, good luck with your trade. Good luck with trading. That's GFI, a trade idea for you tomorrow.